As a noun, a distaff is a tool used in spinning. It is designed to hold the unspun fibers, keeping them entangled and thus easing the spinning process. It is most commonly used to hold flax, and sometimes wool, but can be used for any type of fiber. Fiber is wrapped around the distaff, and tied in place with a piece of ribbon or string. The word comes from dis in Low German, meaning a bunch of flax, connected with staff. As an adjective, the term distaff is used to describe the female side of a family. Form. In Western Europe, there were two common forms of distaffs, depending on the spinning method. The traditional form is a staff, held under one's arm while using a spindle. It is about 3 feet long, held under the left arm, with the left hand drawing the fibers from it. This version is the older of the two, as spindle spinning predates spinning on a wheel. A distaff can also be mounted as an attachment to a spinning wheel. On a wheel it is placed next to the bobbin, where it is in easy reach of the spinner. This version is shorter, but otherwise doesn't differ from the spindle version. By contrast, the traditional Russian distaff, used both with spinning wheels and spindles, is L-shaped, and consists of a horizontal board, known as the donce, and a flat vertical piece, frequently oar-shaped, to the inner side of which the bundle of fibers was tied or pinned. The spinner sat on the donce with the vertical piece of the distaff to her left, and drew the fibers out with her left hand. The distaff was often richly carved and painted, and was an important element of Russian folk art. Recently hand spinners have begun using wrist distaffs to hold their fiber. These are made of flexible material such as braided yarn, and can swing freely from the wrist. They generally consist of a loop with a tail, at the end of which is a tassel, often with beads on each strand. The spinner wraps the roving or toe around the tail and through the loop to keep it out of the way, and to keep it from getting snagged. Dressing a distaff. Dressing a distaff is the act of wrapping the fiber around the distaff. With flax, the wrapping is done by laying the flax fibers down, approximately parallel to each other and the distaff, then carefully rolling the fibers onto the distaff. A ribbon or string is then tied at the top, and loosely wrapped around the fibers to keep them in place. Other meanings. The term distaff is also used as an adjective to describe the female branch of a family. This term developed in the English-speaking communities where a distaff spinning tool was used often to symbolize domestic life. The term distaff has fallen largely into disuse in recent times, and its antonyms of sword, spear and agnate to describe a male grouping are even more obscure. One still recognized use of the term is in horse racing, in which races limited to female horses are referred to as distaff races. From 1984 until 2007 at the American Breeders' Cup World Championships, the major race for fillies and mares was the Breeders' Cup Distaff. It is commonly regarded as the female analogue to the better-known Breeders' Cup Classic, though female horses are not barred from entering that race. The women's division of the mixed martial arts organization EXC is known as the Distaff Division. In Norse mythology, the goddess Frigg spins clouds from her bejeweled distaff in the Norse constellation known as Frigg's spinning wheel. In the video game Loom by Lucasfilm Games, the Weavers Guild, the game's equivalent to wizards, and the main character, Bobbin Threadbare, use wooden staves called distaffs to control their magic, described as weaving the very fabric of reality. See also, Distaff Day, Spindle. References. External links. Instructions on making a recycled sock wrist distaff.